we're live.
This is it. We're alive right now. That's pretty tight. I'm gonna move my phone.
No, you do whatever you need to do.
That dumb, stupid idiot.
Got this soundboard over here.
Oh, fun. Hit one. What do we got? Oh,
we're a live studio audience.
Dude, this is a live studio.
Yeah, live studio audience.
This isn't a dude's room. This is a live studio.
We are literally in another studio right now.
Dude, this is fun.
Right now, the people right now can see the screen, but it's like this weird mirror image. We're gonna change that for them.
So like, whoa.
They can read everything. They know they're seeing what we're seeing exactly. It's not some fucking weird ass. Oh, let me look in the mirror, and you probably play left-handed guitar or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
So everything's on there legit.
Dude, I have a guitar, and I'm always trying to like learn how to play it, but I just get so frustrated because I'm trying to like match up with this dude on like YouTube, and he's like, well, if you're left-handed, this is going to be really good for you because it's like reverse. I'm like, dude, well, just fucking teach me how to play guitar, you son of a bitch.
And then the worst, I've always gotten from tutorials, it's like, oh, if you didn't catch what I did, just rewind the video and watch it again. I'm like, what? I didn't understand you.
That's pretty much somebody just being like, if you didn't catch what I did, I'm a lazy piece of shit, so just go ahead and rewind. You're like, well, fuck you, dude. I'm not doing this.
You'll figure it out.
You a son of a bitch, dude.
Anyways, what is up, everybody? We are here, MuseMe TV, live right now. We're episode 68.
Damn it.
And we have...
I'm pissed, dude. Hey, get your dog in here. Interview your dog for like 10 minutes. Let me come back. I want to be episode 69.
Oh, man. You would have been episode 69, but I fucked up. And I fucking deleted the last episode that I did.
I'm so pissed right now,
because I don't want to blame weed. You know how people always do that?
You should blame weed.
That's what they do all the time. They're like, hey, bro, you smoke too much weed. I'm like, no, I was being fucking stupid.
Dude, I blame booze all the time, man. Like, I don't smoke weed at all, but like I drink like a fish, and like I don't know how many times I was like, dude, do you remember doing this? Like, oh no, I was drunk. I don't remember that, dude. I'm wearing a Coors OG hoodie, dude. I'm trying to get sponsored right now.
What's up, man?
That's what's up. Yeah, man. It's a good time. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? We got Maverick McWilliams.
Yes.
First of all, when I heard that name, I'm just like, does this guy really have two first names?
Dude, I don't know how many. I'd say probably about 7 times a month, someone's like, my name's Maverick. I'm like, yeah. They're like, is that your real name? I'm like, yeah, dude. What asshole signs up with a different fucking name, dude? You know? It's like, what's up? My name's Falcon. Nice to meet you. Like
Falcon McWilliams.
What's up, Falcon McWilliams? You can call me Falk if you want. But yeah, it's like people are always like, is that your real name? I'm like, yeah, it's my real name. They're like, your parents big Top Gun fans? I'm like, nope. They just, I don't know. They just wanted their son to be ridiculed for the rest of their life.
Just part of the like Dallas Buyers Club or something.
I know.
I need to name my kid after it. Dude, Maverick.
I fucking love that movie. That's a good movie.
Dude, it's cool. It's good shit. So with that being said,
yes,
we're actually kind of a little bit farther in the demographic of age difference.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm actually about to be 30.
Oh fuck, you're old.
Yeah, dude. So when you just said that you were 23, I was like, great, another fucking little kid.
Dude, I'm a child.
Dude,
I'm a grown man child. It's so weird.
But yet we look at the mirror. We're looking straight at the camera. Look at it. It looks like I'm fucking a 16-year-old podcasting right now.
I look like I'm your older brother. That I'm like, what are we doing in here on Hill?
Are you doing this again? You're lucky I let you do this in the room.
Bro, you know this is my music studio. I'm trying to get famous. Pissed. Yeah, dude, I'm really young, but like, I don't know, dude. I feel like I've lived some pretty good life so far. Like, that sounds so fucking cock to say, but like I dropped out of college when I was like 18. Like, I only did like a semester and a half of what up, NMJC, New Mexico Junior College. What up, Thunderbirds? That's our fight song,
right?
And so I left there, and I've been working construction since I was like 16. So like, I don't know. I feel like I'm 30 sometimes. Like I wake up, my back hurts. I'm like, ah, fuck.
So you've already done some like hard labor jobs and stuff.
Yeah, dude. I'm a welder and a pipe fitter right now.
Nice.
And I've been doing that for a few years. But I've done like, fuck, dude. I've done like tile. I've done drywall. I've done roofing, flooring. Like, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Like, it's a real. Someone's like, can you fix this? I'm like, unfortunately, yeah.
I can help you. I can help you with that.
Actually, dude, in college, when my brother was going to college, we'd go to these parties all the time. And at this one party, our friend Skylar got so fucking drunk, he fell into this wall, and he's like a big dude, and left a 2-foot hole in the drywall.
Oh my god!
And these girls like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? We're gonna lose our deposit. Me and my brother like, hey, we'll come tomorrow and we'll fix this drywall. And we got drunk, we forgot about it, And the next morning, these girls came over and they're like, "Are you guys gonna fix our drywall?" And we're like, "What? Yeah, I guess." So
You're asking us to do this now?
yeah, like I'm hungover, dude. Give me a burrito first. Jesus, it's pretty wild, dude. It's a good time.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good to know that, like, even though you do comedy, you still have like a job that you can support yourself.
Yeah.
There are some people that just like, oh well, I kind of barely scratch by.
Oh, dude, I know dudes like that do that. Like I don't know how many servers I know that do comedy and they're a bartender or a server, which is fine. But at the same time, I'm like, if comedy doesn't ever pan out for me, which statistically it won't, you know, I have a pretty good job and a trade to fall back on. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. So you're a dipper, eh? I don't know what that is. That's
yeah, dude. It's Copenhagen snuff. I don't know. I've been dipping since I was like 12.
How is that different than smoking?
It isn't more. It's not just annoying for people. I feel like I can, if I'm in a restaurant and like, you know, like, do you smoke cigarettes or anything like that?
No, the only thing I smoke is marijuana.
That's what's up. Well, you know how after like you like do something like a task or a part of your day, like, oh, like a rip of weed would just rip right now. You know what I mean? Would just slap. So like when I wake up in the morning or like when I drink coffee or like after I eat a meal, like I really want to chew. So like I could be in a restaurant. I mean, you can be like at this restaurant having a conversation, and instead of being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go outside and smoke real quick," I can just put in a chew, and like it doesn't bother you. It's only me. Like I try not to like spit in front of people. Like I understand that's pretty gross and annoying, but like it's the same as smoking a cigarette. It's just like you don't have to smell it all the time. It just affects me.
Yeah,
like,
it feels like it's more like discreet too.
Yeah,
like
it's
literally, if you keep your mouth shut and don't really move at all, you can't really tell.
I hardly ever put it in the front here. I'm always like moving it around like in the side of my jaw and stuff like that. So like I'm trying to quit, and it's really hard. I've been dipping for like almost like I guess 11 years now. Yeah. It's wild, dude.
Decade.
12 years old, dipping for 11 years. That's insane. It's crazy.
What got you started? Just to do it? Well, be the cool kid? Don't be the cool kid.
To be a cool kid. I thought it was pretty cool to dip. Well, I'm from like a really small conservative town east of here. I'm from Moriarty, New Mexico.
Nice.
And like my dad chewed for like the longest time. He's from like Oklahoma, and he like rodeoed and stuff. And like I just always like I never really wanted to smoke growing up. Like I used to smoke when I got to college, but like I stopped smoking a while ago. And you know, it's just like my dad did it, and I was like, I want to chew, and like I started chewing. Like I remember I used to chew like I had a can of Longhorn Wintergreen that he bought me because like there's like mint, like crushed up mint leaves that you can chew to help you quit. Oh, okay. And I remember I was like 11 or 12, and I was like, Dad, buy me a can of that mint stuff so I can chew. And he's like, okay. And his big dumbass bought me a fucking can of actual like wintergreen, and he's like, well, I bought it, might as well chew it. And I was like, all right. We were on our way to Texas to go see my grandparents, and like I took my first chew, and it was a little baby guy, and I took it in. I was like just spitting. Me and my dad are talking. I thought I was like hot shit, and I spit it out. And I'm like, you know what? I want to take another one, so I take a bigger one, and like the spit starts like accumulating in my mouth, and my dad hits a bump in the road, and I swallow all that spit. And if you're not used to it, it'll fuck you up like real hard, you know? And I just remember like spitting it out and getting like real lightheaded and nauseous. And I was like, Dad, you need to pull over. And he's like, yeah, there's a rest stop in about a mile. I was like, no, dude, you need to pull over like right now. And he's like, no, there's a rest stop in a mile. And I was like, Dad, you need to, and I just like threw up all over the truck. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, I told you, man, you need to fucking pull over. And then after that, I think that can lasted me like a month.
Holy shit.
Because I would just like sneak out of my room and go on like on the roof of my house and like chew a little bit and like chew for like an hour and then stop. And then like I started chewing like a can a week and then a can every few days. And then now I chew about a can and a half a day, and it's a real pain in the ass. Yeah. It's fucking expensive, and it's a pain. It's just like, it's the worst. Dude.
And it's just for that nicotine fix?
Yeah, dude. Like I get like if I don't have a chew, I get like real like anxious, you know? And it's I guess it's kind of like going to smoking. Like how long have you smoked for?
Probably like, it's like you. I started when I was young.
Yeah.
Like 13, 12.
So you've been dipping for you've been smoking for close to 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost, right? Yeah. Like 19 or so. So like whenever you don't, like, you wake up in the morning, you wake and bake, you know, like
right away.
On the mornings you can't wake and bake for whatever reason. Do you feel like you're a little bit out of it or a little like anxious or something like that?
I feel like I'm more like, actually I am a little more anxious.
Right.
And it is more of that like hyperactiveness where I'm like, oh great, I'm not doing any drugs right now. Because
Yeah.
I do this thing where it's like sober October.
Oh yeah.
So I do that shit all the time where I don't smoke weed that whole October.
That's great.
And it feels weird, you know, it has that weird sensation where it's just like, fuck, I'm not getting high. Oh well, whatever. This is just a boring day. And then towards the end of the month, when I do like that month, November comes.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Oh,
it's
dude,
just like a childhood already, like doing it all over again.
Yeah, and you're like, it's like it resets you, you know?
And I wonder if that's the same thing for nicotine or with alcohol in that sense. If you did take that like, you know, month or 2 month off break, and then when you did it again, it just hits you better than what you do with a can a day.
Well, like the longest I stopped chewing for was 2 months when I went to boot camp.
Okay. Boot camp.
Yeah.
Oh, military.
Yeah, that's why I don't smoke weed, because I'm in the military.
Oh.
I'm in the Navy Reserves.
Oh, okay.
So that's another story.
Shout out to our military out there.
You dumb sons of bitches, dude.
It's a hard job, you know. Somebody has to do it.
I feel like the military is more annoying than hard. You know what I mean? Like okay, this is coming from someone who only is in the reserves. I've never been deployed. It's from but I have dude, I have hundreds. I mean, not hundreds. I have a bunch of friends that are like active duty. Like my brother is in the Air National Guard and he's in Kuwait right now.
Oh shit.
Like it's just like
he's got stories. He could tell you some stuff.
He might. That's the thing about getting deployed now, dude, is dude.
Is it more of a vacation?
Well, sometimes. Some places, I have a buddy who's getting deployed in a few days, and he's going to Dubai. Oh, shit. He's getting deployed to Dubai, which is...
And if you've seen it now...
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah, I have friends who, go to... so in the Navy, you get, Bahrain is a huge base. Okay. There used to be 2 bases in Bahrain, but one of them is, going over to the Marines now, but, Bahrain is in the United Arab Emirates, so it's right by Dubai. So it's a 45-minute trip to Dubai, and people go there on the weekends and they go party and stuff like that. But some shit still happens every once in a while. But if you were deployed to Afghanistan from I would say 2009 to 2011, chances are you saw some pretty wild shit.
Okay.
Daily, you know? And then from thereafter, every year after that, it got a little bit better and a little bit more tame. Things still happen there, don't get me wrong, but before I joined the military, I thought anybody who went to Afghanistan saw crazy shit.
Brutal shit, yeah.
But there's this dude that I work with, and he was in Afghanistan for 9 months in 2011 or something like that, and he's like, yeah, dude, pretty much the whole time was great. We just had one bad day there, and we had one really bad day where somebody not even in their in their unit died, but somebody in their sister unit or someone in their there's different, so there's units, platoons, battalions, and squads, yeah.
Because I remember slightly because I joined ROTC in high school,
right?
And I actually did it for 3 years.
Oh, tight. Dude. So thank you for your service. I appreciate that. That's awesome. You did great. But yeah, if I ever chances are I'll get deployed somewhere, probably Djibouti, Africa, or Bahrain or Dubai or someplace like that. And chances are I won't see anything. A lot of my friends who are on ships and stuff like that, they don't really see things. And my brother's in the Air National Guard. He comes home in 2 weeks and he's been there for 9 months, and he really hasn't seen anything. Nothing crazy like that's happened there either. And I don't know, just people. It's the military is more of if it's your job, it's more of an inconvenience, because it's like a regular job. It's like a 9 to 5 job. You wake up at for most jobs in the military, because if you think of the military like a company, there's
their little divisions of what everybody
does.
Does.
There's somebody who literally their whole job in the military is to make sure you get paid.
Okay.
They're payroll people. Yeah, and payroll. Then there's human resources people. There's
cooks, everything.
Cooks, dude. There's and those jobs are 9 to 5 jobs. You get there, and even infantry divisions, when you're not in country or you're not doing a workup for a deployment or something like that, you'll go in at 0700, 7 o'clock in the morning. You'll get off at 1500, which is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's a regular job. You go there, you do all your shit you need to do, and then you go home. And people think everybody in the military is super cool and super patriotic and super gung ho, but a lot of those people are just 18-year-old kids, man, who just really they didn't know what else to do.
Don't have a direction.
Yes, like a lot of them. Like there's a song by System of a Down, like what's it? BYOB, you know, and it was like, why do we always send the poor? Like is like one of the lyrics, and it talking about, I think it's talking about the military, but for some reason it like talks to me about like the military, like when I was in boot camp. It seems like every kid I talked to, they were from like a broken home. Like either they were from a broken home where they didn't have any guidance in their life. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't afford college. So like, I'll go to the military for 4 years. I'll get the GI Bill and I'll go to school.
And make my family proud.
Yeah, make your family proud. Or there are people from like, my dad was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. Yeah, generational thing. And then there was just dickheads like me that like one day, literally, dude, one day I woke up and I was like, I think I'm going to join the military. Or I'm just going to go see what they have to offer. And I went and like, I'm in an apprenticeship right now, and that's a really good deal for me. So like I'm in this apprenticeship, like I was working these crazy hours, I was pretty unhappy, and I was like, I'm just gonna see what the military has to offer. And I went to the recruiter, and they're good, dude. They're like car salesmen.
Yeah, they try to sell you,
bro. Like I went in there to get in. I went to the Marines first, and I was like,
that's like going to a different car dealer.
Yeah,
like,
dude. I went to the Maserati dealership, you know, and they're like, your credit sucks. Go to the Honda dealership.
Go try over there.
Like, get out of here, bitch. And I'm like, okay. So like, I went to the Marine recruiter, and like how recruiting works is at the time, the Marines are the smallest branch of the military. They're the smallest. They only take a certain type of people, like. You know, they're very constrictive on who they'll take, and during times of war or times of peace is how they constrict it. So in like 2005 and 2006, they were taking anybody. Like you had a criminal record, you had this or that. They'll be like, dude, we just need motherfuckers to go over there.
Yeah, to do the Marines job.
Yeah, to be in the infantry and to go there, you know, and like infantry. If you're going to stay in the military, infantry is one of the coolest jobs ever because you get to blow shit up. You get to shoot guns all the time. You get to go to like, you know, you get to be a soldier, be a Marine. Yeah.
Interaction.
But if you're going to transition out of the military, like you can be like a cop or like a security guard, or that's it. Because like, how many people do you know, like in your civilian life that have like extensive knowledge about firearms or extensive knowledge about explosives or how to like clear a room? Like that shit just doesn't transfer over to the civilian world, you know?
Yeah.
But like, so I went to the Marine recruiter and I was like, I want to join the Marines. And they're like, well, at the time I had like my full forearm tattooed, and they're like, well, you know, our tattoo policy right now is pretty restrictive. You know, if you're going to have something below your shoulder, you have to be able to cover it with your palm. And like my whole forearm was tattooed. And they're like,
oh shit.
And they're like, well, what do you want to do in the Marines? And I was like, well, I wanted to be a medic. And then they're like, well, we don't even have medics in the Marines. I was like,
that's not even a job here.
Yeah, I was like, what, dude? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, then who's your guys' medics? And they're like, well, we outsource to the Navy. We have Navy corpsmen.
Oh.
So like in every Marine division or every Marine squad or platoon, you have a medic, which is a Navy corpsman. So it's somebody from the Navy that gets sent over to the Marines to fix them up, pretty much, if something happens.
And they don't do any like initial training or anything with the Marines. They just do all their Navy stuff.
Oh, no. So how it works in the military is you go to boot camp and then you go to Corps school. So you go to boot camp and they teach you how to be a basic whatever. They teach you how to be a basic airman, a basic sailor, a basic Marine.
5 people in the chat. Thank you guys for joining.
What up, dudes? So when you go to boot camp, it's just that's why they call it basic training. It's like when I went to Navy boot camp, they taught me how to be a basic sailor. They taught me how to like, you know, tie knots. They taught me how to like wear my uniform, taught me how to clean, like shit like that. And then like from there you go to your A school or your MOS school or whatever it is, and that's how they teach you to be your like specific job. So
what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So like,
do they have a system where it's like if you have a specific job but you don't know what you want to do yet, so you're just like, hey, I want to join the military but I don't know exactly what I want to do.
That's the worst. It's called open contract.
Oh god.
Yeah, or undez. So if you're an undez sailor, you'll go to A school and then you'll go to, so you could be, I think it's 3 types of undez. So you can be a firefighter, a airman, or just a regular, just undez sailor. So you'll go, and for the next 6 months to 2 years, you're gonna clean, you're gonna organize, you're gonna paint, you're gonna scrape, you'll get assigned to a certain type of department, and it's called striking.
Yeah,
and it's called striking for rate. So your job in the Navy is called your rate. So like I'm a master at arms. I'm like a military police or whatever. It's super dumb, but it's like dumb if you're in the reserves because I don't do anything ever, right? So you strike for rate, and you'll be like, I'm gonna go with the damage controlman, like the people who like make sure the ship's like running good, and like if anything breaks on the ship, or like if the ship gets like a hole in it, like the DC men are the ones who go in there and like put pumps in to like pump water out and like try to get the ship operational. You'll go work with them for a little bit. You're like, I don't like this. But like, all right, well, I'll go with I'll go with these people for a little bit. I'll go with these people. And if you like that job, you put in a packet to go to that school.
Oh, okay.
And then they send you to that school later. So you go from boot camp to your A school. And then if you have like a certain designation, like if you're a corpsman, you can be like, you go to like boot camp, then you go to corps school, which is 6 months. They teach you how to be a regular corpsman, teach you how to draw blood, give drugs, take blood pressure, pretty much be like
a medic.
A medic, yeah. And then like you could be a dentist. So like a dental assistant. So after that school, you go to a dental assistant school, and they teach you how to like, do all the dental stuff like that. So if you're going to be a green side corpsman, a corpsman that goes with the Marines, you go to, I'm probably going to get shit for this. I'm pretty sure this is how it goes. You go to boot camp, you go to A school, and then you go to like a second boot camp for the Marines. Because when you're a Marine, when you're a corpsman, you're with the Marines, you like wear a Marine uniform. You're with the Marine unit, so you learn like their rank structure. You learn how to wear their uniform. You learn all the different stuff like that, and then you go to another school where you learn like combat medicine. You learn how to like patch people up if they're like in a firefight. You learn how to do all this stuff, like basic stuff to get them stable to where you can get them on a medevac out of there.
Okay.
And so like, and that's like how you become that. And I don't know how we got to this part of the story, but yeah.
That's the beauty of this podcast is like it's ranting and whatever comes up just comes up. But that's actually good knowledge to know, like the way that the structure of how you can actually become something in the military.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like I honestly, when I was younger, I kind of was like, man, I don't really have anything going for me. I kind of want to join the military.
Right.
Because my parents always like, you should do it. Because the same fucking story you just told me, coming from a poverty kind of place.
Yeah, dude.
Your parents are like, well, it's better for you. You don't have to worry about school or anything like that. It's easier than having to worry about going to school, having to deal with the college life. Like you can literally be a man and have fun doing it.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And it's weird to think about it that way, though. But it's just like, like extended kind of like, I don't know, like life skills or anything like that.
Honestly, dude, I think the military is great because it'll take, like, let's say you have little Timmy who like comes from a broken home. His father wasn't there. He's a single, hardworking mother. He can't afford college. He doesn't know anything what he wants to do with life. The military, well, you can go into the military and you can be like a mechanic. You can be like I have friends who are like aircraft mechanics in the military, and like they joined the military and they were taught how to work on airplanes, and were taught how to do all this stuff, how to be like, the cool thing about being in the military, man, is it teaches you like, if like coming from like a working background, like I worked construction since I was like 16. So I was always taught like be to work 15 minutes early, be ready to come to work, like have everything you need when you come to work, like try not to call in, just try to be there every day.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have those life skills, like the military will give you those life skills.
Okay.
Like there's no like option and like, oh, I don't think I'm going to take, like they're going to fucking make you do it.
That's
like
cool. Yeah.
It's fun, but at the same time, like,
it gives structure to people's lives because there are those people that don't have any kind of like, what's a good word for it? Discipline.
Yeah.
No discipline at all for any
dude.
little thing, especially if they're trying to learn a new skill or even try to better themselves in some way. If there is no kind of discipline in it, like they won't get it done.
Right.
And in your sense, like you said, the military can show you that kind of sense if you don't have it or ever were taught it.
Right. Like honestly, man, boot camp it sucked because like, you're away from your family. You're getting yelled at every fucking day. It's just like, it sucks. But at the same time, it's cool in the fact that like, you know where you're going to be every day. You know what time you're going to wake up every day. It's like you have a set structural day. Like every day you wake up at a certain time. Like, and you have a board in your compartment that's like, tomorrow we're waking up at 06:30. At 07, we're going to chow. From 06 to 07, we're cleaning the compartment. We're going to make sure this compartment's like in ship shape. Then we're going to have like a little inspection on it. And then after that, we're going to go to chow. We're going to eat breakfast.
So it's very scheduled.
Yeah. And then after breakfast, we're going to come back here. We're going to grab these things that we need. We're going to go to this classroom. We're going to learn this instruction for 2 hours. After that, we're going to come back here. We're going to PT for an hour. Then we're going to go to second chow, which is your lunchtime. After that, you're going to come back here. You're going to shower or whatever you need to do. And just like, it's like that for like 2-3 months, man. Like, so every boot camp besides the Marine Corps boot camp is, so Marine Corps boot camp and Army infantry boot camp is 3 months. So like if you're in the Marine Corps, you're going to go to boot camp for 3 months, 16 weeks. And then if you're in the Army and if you're infantry, you're going to go for 13 weeks too. You're going to go 8 weeks of basic military training, and then you're going to have an additional 4 weeks of, of whatever. It's 13 weeks. Sorry. So it's like 8 weeks of basic military training, and then you're going to go another 4 weeks of infantry training where you're going to learn how to like clear rooms. You're going to learn about your weapon systems. You're going to learn about like, different stuff like that. And like, it's cool to have that structure because like I have it now, like a little bit, like I've molded it to like my life. Like I know that I have to wake up at this time and leave my house at this time, feed my dog and all this shit.
Yeah.
And like before I went to the military, I kind of had that. But now I know that like if I have to be somewhere at a certain time, like if they're like, hey man, you have to be here at 3 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave my house at 2 o'clock, get there at, latest 2:45 so I can be in there at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, be able to get everything situated.
And like that's why people want to hire people that have like military experiences, because they're like, all right, this dude is in the military. He knows that if we need him here at 3, he's gonna be here at 2:50 or 2:45. He's gonna be here early and he's gonna do all this stuff. And honestly, man, like I hate to say it, but like the military is not for everybody. Like it's like there was dudes in my division who were like, just super young, great dudes, and they followed instructions and they did everything they needed to do. And I was put in charge of like my division for some reason. I don't fucking know why, but. And like there was dudes that like I'd be like, hey man, you need to do this. Like you need to do this way because this is how they want you to do it. And they're like, all right, cool. And then there was other dudes that I was like, hey man, you got to do it this way because this is how they want you to do it. And they're like, but why? And you're like, well, dude, you can't ask why in situations like this. You just got to do it. And I know it sucks, but you just got to go and like
do it.
Do it how they want you to do it. It doesn't make sense to me, but I'm just gonna do it because it's gonna make them happy and it's gonna make them not fucking PT us for an hour. And like it was pretty wild, dude.
And that's like that's like you just trying to make sure that it's easier for everyone else too, right?
Exactly, yeah. Because like, it's like that old saying, like, the nail that sticks out gets hammered, you know? And like in the military, dude, you got to go with the flow, because if you're not going to go with the flow, you're going to get fucked up real quick. And
I hear it in that sense, like it's worse because they kind of like punish everybody for the mistakes of one.
Yeah, dude. Like at first they'll punish you. Like in how they did it in my boot camp anyway, is like if you fucked up, they'd be like, all right, who fucked up? And you're like, I fucked up. And they're like, all right, well, we're going to punish you for it. And if you do it again, we'll see what happens. So you do it and then you fuck up again. They're like, oh, you don't want to do it. You want to keep fucking up? Okay. Well, what's your section? And they'll be like, all right, I'm in alpha section. Like, okay, we're going to punish all of alpha section.
Okay.
And you're like, fuck. And those are the dudes you're like closest with, right? Is like your section. And they're like, and if we fuck up again, like, oh, you want to fuck up again? All right, let's punish the whole division for this, for your fuck up, and we're gonna make sure
they know.
We know you fuck. We had this recruit, seaman recruit Hawkins, dude. This dude was the biggest fuck up ever. Like, he was always like whenever they like PT you, whenever they PT you, give you physical training, like or individual training, it's like they make you do push-ups and sit-ups and all that shit like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
But they call it beating. They call it like you want to get like it's called getting a beating. So for this story, like I'm going to tell you I'm going to use that phrase so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Beating.
A beating. It's just like so in Navy boot camp, they have these things called orange cards. An orange card is it's an orange index card that all of the drill instructors or the RDCs carry that have a list of exercises on them. It has like, if I remember right, it's like 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups, 30 flutter kicks, 10 count bodybuilders. It's just a list of exercises that they can give you, and those are like naval approved exercises they can give you for an individual training session or like for a beating. And for them to do it, they have to have that in their hand, and it's like legal shit. I don't know why they do it, whatever. But like if they do it to you, you just have to do those exercises and get through it. And once they're like, all right, he's learned his lesson, go back to work or whatever. Yeah. They would PT this kid and he would never finish an exercise. He would like get to 15, but he was like, he was a heavier set guy. He was just really like sassy and shit like that. Like he had this like attitude with him.
Oh God.
And I was like, bro, you're just fucking up one day. And he would just always fuck up. He was always getting hurt, always asking to go to medical, just like fucking up the whole groove of it. Like had no business being in the military. And like, I was like, dude, and I would just go up to him like, dude, you need to get this shit together. Like, and it wasn't just that, like he would like want to be able to fold his clothes right. He want to be able to,
little details,
just like little shit that like is easy. Like they teach you in the military, they literally teach you how to do everything.
Yeah.
Like they taught us how to fold everything from our underwear to our shirts, to our pants, how to wear our uniform, how to clean,
how it's ironed and everything.
How to iron it, how to like wear it, how to shine your boots. Like they fucking teach you everything you need to know. They're not like, shine these boots. Yeah. And you're like, I don't know how to shine boots. Like, well, figure it out. They're like, all right, this is how you shine your boots.
Yeah, they do it all.
Yeah. And so like he couldn't do anything right. And so since I was in charge, like one day I was talking at chow, which is a big no-no. You're not allowed to talk when you're eating. And it was like, we were like 6 weeks in. I was like super tired, you know, and I lean over to this other person in my division and I'm like, hey, what do we got after this? Because I know they have the schedule, because there's one recruit that they give, like, you're in charge of the schedule, you're in charge of everybody's paperwork, and it like teaches them how to be accountable and shit like that. So like I lean over and I'm like, hey, what do we have going after this? And like right as I said that, my head RDC was walking by me and she was like, oh, you want to talk at chow, you think you're fucking special. And I was like, fuck. And she's like, I'll tell you what, find me at 1300 and I'm going to show you how fucking special you are. And I was like, all right, well, I know I'm going to get an ass beating, so whatever. So at 1300, I show up and I'm like, Seaman Recruit McWilliams reporting is ordered. And she's like, go get me so I was called an RPOC, like a recruit division commander. And then she's like, go get me your RPOC, your AROC, which is your assistant recruit division commander. Both of your yeomen are the people that are like in charge of all like your documents and shit like that. Like the people that are in charge of the schedule, the ones I was talking to. And there's 3 of them. She's like, go give me your AROC, all 3 of your yeomen, and Seaman Recruit Hawkins. And I was like, what the fuck? So I go and get all of them. Like, hey, like Chief wants us. We got to go over there. And this lady was like the meanest lady ever, bro.
Oh, man.
So like whenever you become a drill instructor, it's like a command. Like you're there for a certain amount of time, and after that you just go to a different command, or you get out of the Navy, whatever like your time turns out to be. So you're in Great Lakes, Illinois for 3 years. And Great Lakes, Illinois is fucking terrible because it's super hot in the summer. It's like super humid. It's Chicago. Okay, so it's like super humid in the summertime, super frigid and cold in the wintertime. Terrible. So this lady had been there for 3 years, and her next duty station was Honolulu, Hawaii. No, it was Pearl Harbor, Hawaii.
Okay.
So imagine living in Chicago for 3 years, being in charge of a bunch of dumbass 18-year-old kids, pretty much just babysitting them for 3 years, and then your next duty station's Hawaii. So like you're fucking waiting to get out.
It's like something that you're waiting for.
Yeah, like you're like, oh my god, after this,
just a couple more,
a couple more months and I'm out. I'm in Hawaii. It's over.
It's gonna be way easier.
Yeah. So so she's like, right before she was about to get out, she had like 2 months left at this command, and they were like, we're gonna give you one more division, and she's like, oh, fuck. And it was my division, so she fucking hated us.
Oh man,
because I think she had to extend a month there to wait till we graduated
because of you guys,
dude. Even on the day we graduated, she didn't shake anybody's hand. She wasn't like, I'm proud of you guys, whatever. I remember she was there, and after the ceremony, she just fucking left. I'm pretty sure she left to go to Hawaii that day.
It's just like, this is it.
She was like, yo, wait, hold that plane, baby. I'll be right there in a second. Gonna watch these fuckheads graduate real quick.
Unfortunately, this ticket is about to expire.
Yeah, dude. She's like, I got an 11:30 plane. It is 10 o'clock right now. You motherfuckers need to hurry up.
Walk the line,
motherfucker. So we graduated. So we all go in front of her, and she just beats the shit out of us for about 2 hours and 45 minutes of nonstop exercises. And I'm like 6 weeks in. I'm like in pretty good shape by this time. Getting PT'd like every day, like, always doing push-ups. Like I'm fucking...
You're built.
Dude, I'm built, and everybody with me is built too. Everybody except Seaman Recruit Hawkins.
Okay.
So like we're all like, she's like, all right, and dude, we weren't even finishing exercises. She's like 30 push-ups, begin. And you're like, You're like 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. And dude, we're like just knocking out these push-ups. We get halfway down. She's like, all right, flutter kicks, go. And you're like, oh, got to go to your back. And you're doing like flutter kicks. Yeah. There's like 10 count bodybuilders, go. And we're doing all, and Seymour Recruit Hawkins is just fucking up the whole time, dude. He's just like, and he's like crying and he's like in pain.
Oh, man.
And I look over at him. He's like right next to me, dude. And I look over at him and I think, dude, here's this kid that's been like trying his hardest, but just couldn't get it. He's been working hard, like all this shit. And I'm just like, I start thinking about all those movies where like you give like a motivational speech, you know, to him,
uplift him, and
uplift him. Like, you got this, dude. We got this. You know, fuck her. It's me and you. You're my brother. All this shit. I wasn't about any of that shit. I was like, bro, the military sucks. You have a chance to get out right now. Just get the fuck out of the military. Like, I was like encouraging him to quit.
Giving him the truth.
I was
unfortunately.
like, bro, if you can't get through this shit, you can't get through anything. Get the fuck out, bro. And eventually he was just like, and she just like walks up to him. She's like, are you done? Are you going to quit yet? Are you going to get the fuck out of the Navy? And he goes, yes, I want out of the Navy. And she goes, all right, easy day. Gets his paperwork ready. Because people don't understand this, but when you're in boot camp, you can still get out of the military. Like, you can be like,
it's not for me.
Yeah, dude, you can just walk up to your drill instructor and be like, I want out. I want to get out of here. And they're like, you want out? And you're like, yeah, I want out. And you're like, okay, we'll get you out. But the shitty thing is you have to stay there for like anywhere from 2 to 6 months in boot camp for 2 to 6 months before you can leave the military.
Oh, okay.
So there's an old saying, like, the fastest way out of boot camp is graduation, like, for everybody, you know? And like, there's a bunch of dudes in my division who like didn't make it through, you know, like didn't make it through the military for medical reasons, or they just quit or whatever. And it was wild, man. But like, that just goes like, that was like the biggest thing for me. Like, the military is not for everybody.
And that makes sense too, because like you saw it at firsthand, where you're
dude.
doing the work, you're really seeing everybody else do it, and then all of a sudden this other dude just comes out of nowhere and just like, fuck, you fucking it up for all of us. And then even through all the time, you're just like, at the end, you're just like, this isn't for you, dude.
Oh, dude. And then I even have friends who like made it through all the way through boot camp and like still got kicked out of the Navy.
Damn.
Because like you can go to like what's called Captain's Mast, you can get an Article 15, which is like a misdemeanor. So like in the military, if you get caught like drinking underage, or like you show up to work drunk, or even if you're late to work, you can go to what's called Captain's Mast in the Navy. In other branches, it's called getting an Article 15, but for some reason they call it a Captain's Mast in the Navy, because like you go in front of the captain and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like if you get enough of those, they can be like, this isn't for you. You need to get the fuck out, and they'll just discharge you. So I've had a couple friends who have been like discharged from the Navy even after boot camp, after A school, after their first, maybe even their second command, and they're just like, yo, get the fuck out. Like, this isn't for you. And like, I think it's funny when people are like, let's give it up for the troops. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome that you're giving it up for the troops. And like, don't get me wrong, there's just so many people in the military who are great people, great men and women who like are serving this country, who are away from their families on the holidays, who are like going overseas without saying shit, like good fucking people.
Yeah.
But there's some people in the military who are just huge shitbags. You know what I mean? Like, terrible fucking people. And it's like a hard fact, but like, not everybody in the military is like a good person.
And that's what's hard to think about too, is because like those people that are the bad persons in the military, they're what shine and what show what's going on in the military.
Dude,
everyone is like, oh, that must be what's going on with all of those guys.
Yeah, dude. Like, whenever you like see, like, I see articles all the time, like on my Instagram and shit. Like, for that, my algorithm for some reason is like tattooing, comedy, and then like the military for some reason, because that's like all the posts I look at. And like I'll see posts like Marine in Okinawa got caught fucking like, you know, drinking on post or something like that. And like, and then that gives like there's stereotypes in the military, like the drunk sailor, you know, people like, you know, sailors always getting drunk on post, or just getting drunk out in town, like on Liberty. And then like the dumb Marines who do like a bunch of dumb, stupid shit.
Right.
And, like the army, like the fat, like army people or whatever, or, like the dumb army people. And then like the Air Force are like a bunch of pussies. And like that's, I mean, obviously those are stereotypes that aren't true in a lot of factors, but like, I mean, there are like a lot of Marines who are like shitbags. There are a lot of sailors who are drunks and alcoholics. There are a lot of airmen who like are kind of pussies. Like, and I mean, it's just like,
it's not a stereotype that should bring down negativity in the military, but it is there.
Right. Like,
it is there.
Dude, I know Marines who are like the fucking super like patriotic, like hooyah, like hoorah, fucking like
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, America, fuck yeah, dudes who are like, well, I'm like, dude, I'm glad you're a fucking Marine. And,
you want another one?
Yeah, I'll grab another one here in a second. And then like, I know like a lot of sailors who are like fucking great sailors. I know a lot of soldiers who are like awesome fucking soldiers. But I also know soldiers who are shitbags, and I also know a lot of sailors who are shitbags, and a lot of fucking Marines who are kind of shitbags.
And you can kind of see that even in our society too, when you have like a police officer that pulls you over and he's a total dick.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
and then you're just like, dude, what happened to like? Because actually, I think it was on Sunday when I saw you the first time I met you. I went to the open mic. I actually got fucking pulled over when I was going home.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. But the cop was cooler than fuck. He's like, dude, I know you're going 85 on the freeway, but you know, I'm not gonna give you a ticket. I'm just gonna let you know you need to slow down. And I'm just like, dude, how is that capable compared to another dude who's like literally probably would have saw me first glance, but like, this guy got the gun.
Oh, dude, for sure, yeah.
And that's how fucking that's how sad that is that like. The stereotype of a police officer or somebody in the military is more negative than positive.
Yeah. So like in the reserves, it's funny, like, so since I'm like an MP in the Navy, a lot of the guys in my reserve unit are like cops, like in the civilian world, you know, it just kind of like translates a lot. Like it's really easy to get into a police academy if you have like a military background, especially a military police background. But like there could be 1,000 great sailors. There can be 1,000 great Marines. There can be 1,000 great soldiers. There can be 1,000 great airmen, 1,000 great police officers, firefighters, whatever. But it takes one to fuck all that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it takes one. Like, dude, I guarantee there's more good cops out there than are bad cops.
I love that. I love that you just said that, because my philosophy of life is that there is more good than bad, but we only portray
look at the bad. Yeah, yes. Dude, it's fucking crazy. Like, dude, if you go on, dude, I can go online right now and I could find 15 stories about a cop shooting a black dude or shooting a fucking
negativity,
shooting an underprivileged person, shooting an unarmed person, and then like
shooting a dog.
Dude, yeah, shooting a fucking dog. But like, I bet if I really it'd be way harder to find like, oh, police officer takes time out of his schedule to read to children or some crazy shit. Like, it's like the media doesn't like look at like the cops who are like, you know, who are like going to underprivileged neighborhoods and playing basketball with kids, you know,
pass by the school. They're like, hey, what's up, junior?
Right.
Like, you know, let them know that they're there to help the community.
Oh yeah, dude. They're just like highlighting the cops that are like, oh, Chicago police officer shoots unarmed black, teenager. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? You know? But dude, like my uncle's a cop. My uncle's a state police officer. Like my father was a firefighter. Like I have a lot of friends who are like police officers and shit like that. And like all those dudes are great dudes, you know? But like it just takes one bad person to make a bad stereotype about somebody. It takes one drunk sailor to make a bad stereotype about like sailors, you know what I mean? Or like, and it's I don't know, it's wild, dude. It's just like it's pretty crazy, you know, in this like the time we're living in is like media is so fucking big that like it seems like you can have a great career. You can be like a funny dude. You can have like 7 great comedy specials, and like it just takes one bad 30 minutes of your life.
Not even that. One bad tweet.
Dude, one bad dude. Literally, like I don't know how many tweets I've written on the toilet. You know what I mean? Like I don't get on Twitter anymore, but like I don't know how many times like being in high school, like I'm on the shitter, I'm just like, oh, this is funny. And like it takes 20 seconds to write a tweet and send it out.
Right.
And then you're like, and it's out in the ether forever, dude, you know? And then like I think it's hilarious when people like go back to like somebody's Twitter and they're like, remember this 20 seconds of your life where you said this really stupid thing? Well, we're gonna fuck up this last 15 years of hard work you've been working on
because we noticed that one thing
because of a 20-second tweet you wrote that you really didn't think about. Because like, oh, I thought this is funny.
And don't you think it's even weirder now too that society tries to find your mistakes,
dude? Yes. Like
so, like literally, you can be doing good, and they're like, this guy. Is he really this good?
Yeah.
And then they'll go for whatever reason to the past to find anything.
Bro, I think it's hilarious when people are like, yeah, remember this tweet you wrote in 2006? You're like, I don't think there was Twitter in 2006. He's like, remember this tweet you wrote in 2012? You're like, 2008 fucking years ago? Like, are you like, what, dude? What were you doing 8 years ago, man? Like, dude, you were listening to ICP 8 years ago. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You know? Like, I don't know, dude. I think it's funny when someone like gets famous and then just like scrubs their Twitter. I've been seeing that like a lot lately. You know, like so and so, like, oh, so and so got appointed to this position. Turns out they scrubbed 6,000 tweets of theirs, and you're like, bro, you have to go. Like that almost makes me not want to do anything, bro. Like I would hate to get like on SNL or something like that in the future, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go back on my Instagram, I gotta go back on my fucking Twitter,
Gotta see all the mistakes.
I gotta scrub my fucking Twitter, bro. Like oh, I didn't use a gender neutral pronoun there, I gotta get rid of that.
And see, that's even weirder, is because I mean, you're not that much younger than I am.
Sure, yeah.
But how do you feel about that whole transition from having to change the way transgenders and gender neutral and binary has kind of been forced upon us instead of like slowly taught to us?
Here's the thing that like I think about like transgenders. Like I hate them. No, I'm just kidding. Like they're terrible. I hate them. Get them out of here.
I honestly have a joke where I'm just like, dude, half of the time I have to evaluate my sexual what I feel like, my sexual orientation when I look at a transgender, because dude, some of them are fucking amazing.
Dude, I've been on I'm on Tinder a lot, and like I'll be on Tinder, and on Tinder, dudes, listen, ladies, tell you what, if you're writing these like catchy bios, save your time. No dude is looking at your bios. All right,
they're just going straight for the pick.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'll just go on I'll get drunk and go in a swiping frenzy, and then the next morning I'm like, oh, I have 3 matches on Tinder. I'm doing pretty good, and one of them's like a transgendered person, and I'm like, fuck, dude, you sneaky sons of bitches. You guys are good, dude. There's some transgender girls. I'm like, holy shit,
right?
You're good looking.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I have to reevaluate myself sometimes.
Like here's the thing about the whole transgender thing. Like, I'm from a super conservative small town. I'm from a farm and ranch community in rural New Mexico. Like, I grew up I still know people that don't like homosexual people.
With McWilliams as your last name coming from Moriarty, I know exactly who you are.
Bro, yeah, I'm a racist. No, I'm just kidding. But no, dude, like, I think the thing is, like, I was raised with manners. You know what I mean? Like, I say yes, sir, yes, ma'am. And I'm always a person, like, I don't ever want to make you feel bad about yourself. I want to make you feel comfortable. So, like, if I meet a transgender person and I call them ma'am, and they're like, oh, I prefer to be called sir, I'm like, okay, I'll call you sir. No problem. Yeah. Like, it's just like, it's whatever, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
when it's pressed upon you in a kind of a negative way, that's where I think is kind of falling down in society right now.
Here's what I don't like is when someone's like, when I meet somebody and they tell me their gender, their pronouns.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's like, hi, Lindsay, them, they. I'm like, them, they. Like,
you're still trying to understand the whole. It's like a joke, Give me a second to understand the punchline,
dude. There's a open mic in Oklahoma City that, like, if you don't get, there's a comedy club open mic on Wednesdays, like, and you can only do it every other Wednesday.
Okay.
And it's a random draw, like a random lottery. So, like, you sign up, and then they have like a Crown Royal bag with chips in it that say yes, no, or guarantee. So if you draw a yes, you're gonna go on that night. If you draw a guarantee, you're going to go on the next week. And if you draw a no, you're just not going to go up at all. And you can come back the next week and try again.
Legit.
So, like, if you don't go on that night or you pull a guarantee or whatever, there's another mic in town that you can go to that you can just, like, sign up and, go on or whatever. It's like this little pizza place. And it's so fucking annoying that it's like you have your name for it's like a really nice sign up sheet. Like some open mics, are just like a fucking notebook that there's like, it just says sign up at the front. There's a pen by it.
This sounds like us.
Yeah. And like sign ups misspelled. You're like, who the fuck's running this mic, bro?
It's like, let's just do sign ups to line up tonight.
Dude, pretty much every mic in Oklahoma City is sign up lineup. It's fucking annoying.
Really now?
Yeah, it's wild. But like if you go up there, it's like your name. It's like a variety mic, so you can do comedy, poetry, whatever you want.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's like your name, your medium, like what if you're gonna do comedy, poetry, whatever, or then it has a little spot for your pronoun. And I always just put Z next to my fucking pronoun. I'm like I want to see what they do. And they've never said Z ever. Then we're like Zier's your comic, Z's a comedian.
But they never said it.
Never said it for me. So I'm like, dude, well, fuck you then, dude. Like, here's the thing, bro. If you're one of those people who are like, this is my pronoun, and I'm like, okay, and if I say, all right, you have to refer to me as Z, and they don't do it, I'm like, well, then I'm not going to respect your fucking pronoun.
Why do you want me to do it?
Yeah, dude. Like,
here's another crazy one. Tell me how you feel about this.
Okay.
There are the aspects of changing your gender within hours of the day. So in 1 hour, me and you are talking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, you need to start referring to me as she now. I mean, because I feel like...
No, I'm not going to do that. That's fucking annoying.
Okay, see, that's the thing. That's what's crazy that's blowing me away right now is that is acceptable as like an okay mental illness, but yet being able to have multiple personalities or like... Even just assuming that I'm black. Imagine if I wanted to be black for the next 20 minutes.
That's the crazy thing about it is like, what's the difference between saying like Like, for me and you having a conversation, and in the middle of it, I go, I'm the Queen of England. You have to refer to me as Your Highness.
Right.
And then, like, I'm this. You have to refer to me as this. Like, I get it. Like, here's the thing. If I was in that situation and I felt like my gender was, like, fluid throughout the day, like, in the morning, I feel like, oh, I'm a boy now. And then, like, after breakfast, I'm like, oh, I'm a girl now. Like, I'm not going to fucking, like, it's just more of, like, an annoying thing. It's like when somebody, like, when somebody's at your house, like, oh, it's hot. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll turn up the air conditioner. Like, oh, it's too cold now. You're like, okay, I'll turn down the air conditioner. Like, oh, it's, this and that. And you're like, okay, well, what the
now you're fucking
yeah,
crazy.
what the fuck are you doing now,
See, and that's where I don't like either, is that, like, something like that wouldn't be categorized as mental illness.
I mean, I don't think it's mental illness. I think it's just
dude. Okay, I'm throwing one of those cards out there, especially when schizophrenic people automatically have that same the same illness.
Oh yeah, dude, schizophrenic people are wild. Dude.
The same thing though. They literally go from gender or whatever they are, from personalities. And that's not the same for when somebody wants to be referred to as a male or a female.
Also, I'm a big dumb idiot who doesn't know fucking anything. But in my opinion, dude, like, if I meet you and you are transitioning from male to female or female to male,
we just lost half of the audience.
I bet they're like, fuck these two dudes, dude.
Just get this out of here.
Another two straight dudes talking about gender norms. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Where the fuck's your MAGA hat?
Dude, where's your MAGA hat, you fucking pussy? This guy's wearing a Coors Original sweatshirt. I know he voted for Trump.
What the fuck?
Fuck, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess finally, all I'm going to say about it is, like, if you ask me to call you, you're like, if I call you ma'am and you identify as a dude and you're like, oh, I identify as a guy, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm going to call you dude.
But respect to whatever you're going to say next.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm going to respect whatever you want. And I mean, I'm not going to try to be like, if you're a female and you're like, oh, you can call me him, or, my pronouns are him, he. I'll be like, I'm not going to be like, no, they're not. You're a woman. You're a female. Like, I'm going to be like, all right, cool, man. You're a dude. Cool, whatever. It doesn't fucking change my day. It's not going to fucking bother me. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. Like,
yeah, that's what makes it even more, like, kind of, I get it that it's more of like a personality kind of thing, or more of like something that's internal where you want to be somebody else.
Sure, yeah, that's fine, I guess.
Scientifically, that's where people are getting the argument together.
Yeah, right. Like, biologically, you're a male. Sorry. Like, biologically, you're a male and you want to be a female. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And then, like, the whole bathroom thing, it's weird into, like, the bathroom thing. Like,
especially if it's introduced at a younger age. I don't know if you know this, but in New York City, they're actually putting gender-neutral bathrooms in elementaries.
I mean, I think in elementary schools it's fine because, like, you're just like a little kid, dude. You're just like, hey, what's up? Like, I mean,
from the beginning though, doesn't that feel like already you're asking too many questions? Like, what? Because, okay, here's another example too. There are people that are transitioning their child at a young age.
I don't like that.
How many people, when you were a little kid, I'm not saying you were, but how many times?
I've never been a little kid ever, bro.
Dude, I want to touch my tits when I was a little kid.
Dude, yeah, for sure.
But
tits are tight. I love tits.
You hear this idea where they're just like, I want to be a girl or whatever when they're like 5. Do you really think they're going to want to do that when they're 12 or 24 or 50?
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Like, someone's like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm gonna, like, there's parents now that are like transitioning their kids for them.
Yeah, because, you
know what I'm saying?
Some
like,
stupid little thing. I like to wear my mom's clothes.
Yeah, like, they're like, oh, my son is a female now, and I'm like, bro, you don't even dress I mean, that kid doesn't even dress himself. Why the fuck are you gonna let him pick his fucking gender? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude. It's like I said, I'm not a super smart guy. I just have these, like, opinions that I've accumulated over time, but, like, I think that, like, you should wait until they're older. Like, I think you should wait. Like, the human brain develops at 25. I heard is like your brain is fully developed at 25. So I think before you can transition from, like, female to male or male to female or whatever you want, I think you should be allowed to do that. Sure, it's America, dude. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's why this is the greatest country in the world. Is because you can do shit like this, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You can identify as whatever the fuck you want. You can marry whoever the fuck you want. You can have sex with whatever you want. God bless America, as long as it's not a dog or a kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, if you want to fuck a mailbox, tight. But if you're trying to fuck a kid, I'm like, not having it.
That's not the thing.
But, like, I don't know, man. If you're just like, if you're, I think after your brain is fully developed and you're like, okay, I've been identifying as a male for 10 years. I want to transition to a male. I'm like, dude, do it. Why the fuck are you asking me?
Yeah, because that makes more sense.
Yeah, dude. But if you're like a 6-year-old kid and you're like, I want to be a girl, and you're like, dude, you're 6. You don't know anything. You're an idiot. All 6-year-olds are stupid, dude. Like I was eating dirt when I was 6. Like what the fuck, bro?
Mooning people on the fucking. I was mooning bitches on the fucking playground,
tight,
bro.
Dude.
6 years old.
You're like, yo, check out my ass.
Look at my skinny ass,
bro. Look at my skinny ass, ma. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I usually don't like to get into like these debates and shit because. Like, I mean, I'm a straight white dude, and that's what I've always been. That's probably what I'm always going to be. Like, who the fuck am I to say, like, you can't be a male or you can't be a female or you have to use this pronoun or you have to use this bathroom? Like, I don't care, dude. Like, I mean, maybe when I have children, my mind will change a little bit. But, like, right now, dude, like, I think that the reason this country is the greatest country in the world is because
free.
You can do that, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I can leave my house tomorrow and be like, I identify as a female.
Dude, there's people out there that are just like, oh, I want to go to Canada because it's more free up there.
It's not.
Dude, it's not.
It's not. It's not. Less free than here.
Exactly. And that's what people don't understand of the privileges they have in this country. Like, dude, I look at... I watch YouTube videos and I see all kinds of shit where I'm just like, holy fuck. Like, dude, we are literally lucky as fuck. The fact that we can actually have somebody on YouTube post nothing but bullshit propaganda about this one country.
Yeah, dude.
And then literally get millions of likes on it.
Bro, like, I think, so I'm probably wrong on this, but I think I'm right. I'm not sure. If you go to Canada and you talk bad about the crown, like talk bad about, like, because it's like a, what's it called? It's a constitutional monarchy.
Yeah.
So, like, technically, it's still England, I guess. It's like a part of England somehow. I don't know. I rodeoed with Canadians in college, but like I'm still don't know how the fuck it works.
That's too much for me, eh?
Way too much for me, eh? But like in Canada, you can't do certain things you can do here. Like in Mexico, you can't do certain things you can do here. Dude, literally, you can do whatever. Dude, there's dudes that make money on Instagram just bashing the government.
Yeah, dude.
You know, and like, dude, and like it goes back to like the gun debate too, man. Like people are like, you know, this, like, you know. Like America, you know, we have too many guns and all this stuff. Like, dude, that's why we're one of the greatest countries in the world.
Because everyone's scared when we come in.
Bro,
yeah, dude,
tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I can walk into a sporting goods store.
Dude, guns.
Dude, tomorrow morning I can walk into a sporting goods store, lay down $700 on the fucking table and be like, I want that AR-15. And they're like, you want it? Are you a felon? I'm like, nope. And they're like,
give us a second. Let us check you.
They're like, he's not a felon. I'm like, dude, give it to me. Give it to Papa, dude. I think that, dude, I'm saying dude so much right now. Fuck.
That's cool, man.
I think, dude, and that's... Guy, here we go. All right, I'm going to switch to guy.
Guy, dude.
Honestly, man, I think that's like I'm a huge Second Amendment person. Like, I think our Second Amendment rights shouldn't be infringed at all. Like, I think it's awesome that, like, we can, you know, that it's a very even playing field, you know. They're like, when people are like, well, I don't think you should be able to own AR-15s because like all these criminals are owning films. Like, dude, if they're owning an AR-15, you should own an AR-15.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want one if they have one? But see, that brings the other instance as well too, is like, how are these people getting the guns that don't deserve the gun?
Right.
And then see that going to politics now.
Okay.
We're transitioning, going into a politics.
Talk about everything. We're talking about religion next. All right.
What's in your sense? Do you really feel that you're more conservative than anything?
I feel like I'm more libertarian than anything. Like I'm pretty anti-government,
but you have a lot of conservative ideas.
I don't know if I have a lot of conservative ideas. Like I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in free trade.
Yeah.
I believe in equal marriage for people. I believe in equal pay for people.
Right,
like
the abortion and all that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, dude. Like I think if I believe in abortion. Like I think if you're a female and like, you know, it's kind of weird to say, and it's kind of a weird tightrope. But like I'm Catholic. But at the same time, like, if you are a 16-year-old girl and you get pregnant at prom, like, it's almost better to abort that child, and instead of having him grow up in a life of him or her, instead of having them grow up in like a life of poverty, a life of food stamps, like perpetuating the cycle of like, you know, this and that. And then I can also see the same thing, like, what if that kid that kid cures cancer
or ends up being president or blah blah blah.
I mean, at the same time, like, there's this. I started believing in like I shouldn't say believing in abortion. I started like kind of like being okay with abortion when
understanding it more.
When I heard this story one time that there's these two mothers. One mother was impregnated by her uncle, and she went to a priest and was like, I want to abort this child. And the priest is like, well, you shouldn't do that. It's a sin. This child has potential to be this or that. She's like, okay. And there's another woman who got pregnant from like her lover. Her lover was married. She got pregnant. She went to the priest and was like, I think I want to have an abortion. And the priest is like, told her the same thing. Be like, I think you should wait. I mean, this child has potential. This child could be anything it wants. One of those mothers was the mother of Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest scientific minds of any generation, in my opinion. Created one of the first flying machines, created so many things that like we use nowadays.
Yeah, geometry, painting.
One of the greatest inventors in history. And the other's mother was Adolf Hitler's mother. So that's the thing. Like, you can say, yeah, that child has immense potential to be president, to cure cancer, to, lead a nation to great things, or that child could lead the genocide of 6 million people.
That's crazy.
It's wild, right?
Because if you really think about it, like that's the potential of every kid. Is right. Like either somebody who tries hard or somebody that doesn't.
Statistically, that person's going to grow up to kind of be a piece of shit. Because there's a lot of people that are pieces of shit out there.
And that's true, too, only because of the way, I feel, is only because of the way structured society is.
Right.
I mean, if you're born into poverty, you're pretty much kind of fed a shitty spoon right away.
You're going to kind of almost perpetuate the cycle of poverty.
Yes.
And, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
there are those certain cases, kind of like we were talking about the good and bad of news and stuff like that. But still, though, that's the shitty part about it.
Right.
It's like those certain cases don't shine as much as the negative aspects.
Right. And like, I don't believe in like late term abortion, like third trimester. Like, all right, that's a baby now.
Right,
like
you can see the head already.
Yeah. Like I think when you get in like the third trimester, you're like, dude, that thing's a fucking baby now. Like that now that's a human. But like, in the first trimester, the first 3 months of pregnancy, I feel like you're like, dude, I mean, you can probably terminate this kid and you'll be fine.
Like, so what if it does come to the subject of like the timing? Okay, so
Jesus Christ.
So I don't know if you're a big South Park fan.
Yeah.
But do you remember the episode where Christopher Reed ends up eating like baby spinal cords?
No,
so
I don't remember that episode.
So what happens is like, you know who Christopher Reed is, right?
Yeah, I think
the guy
so.
that played Superman who ended up being paralyzed.
Right.
Well, he ended up finding out that stem cells.
That's where it
can
came
actually
from.
help him. Yeah, but the only way to do it is to literally break the baby's neck and suck it out of the brain.
I think that's
the membrane.
fine. I think you could do that. I think that's fine. You should be able to do that.
If it's enough to like cure something, do you think so?
I mean, I've heard good things about stem cell research. Like Rogan always talks about how he gets stem cells shot in his like shoulders and shit like that. And like,
or Mel Gibson's dad and shit.
Yeah,
like
Mel
that.
Gibson's dad's was 90 something,
ready to die
in a wheelchair. They shot him up with stem cells, and I was like walking around and he's fine. Like I feel like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Abortion's such a weird thing. I think dudes should have more of a say in abortions. Like, I understand it's like the women's body, the women's choice, and all that stuff. And I believe in that. Like, it's not my body. Like, women could still die when they get an abortion. There's still like a small percentage chance that like they can hemorrhage and die. Whenever they're aborting a child. But like, I don't know, man. I just think like if you're like a single mom, if you're young, you're an impoverished person, you don't have, access to like, healthcare, that kid's going to be on food stamps and like all this shit his whole life. Like, you know what? It's probably better to get the abortion, wait until you find a partner that you and them are going to be like, care for this child accordingly, Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing. I'd much rather go talk about guns right now.
That's the beauty of everything, right? That's the beauty of like that's what I love about this podcast is that the fact that little subjects like that come up and it's just like I don't know if I really want to talk about that anymore because there's nothing really to say.
Right. I'm like, fuck, dude. I mean, there's only so much I could say about abortion being a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dude. I think honestly, and like whenever I hear people that are like, I'm anti-abortion, I'm like, that's great. I mean, there should be anti-abortion people out there. Like, it's a society's not good unless there's like contrasting ideas.
Yeah, double-sided, because you always find the middle ground.
Exactly. So if like everybody in this country was pro-abortion, like people would just be fucking aborting babies left and right.
Yeah.
But if everybody in this country was anti-abortion, then like
be overpopulated.
We'd be overpopulated. We'd be running out of supplies and shit like that. Resources, yeah. But like I think there should be pro-life and pro-choice, and I think there should be pro-gun and anti-gun. I think there should be all this stuff like.
That's the beauty of, okay, let's go into a religious aspect.
Okay.
That's the beauty of like Chinese or like any kind of like Buddhist philosophy, is that there's a middle ground to everything.
Right.
There isn't this whole, goodness overpowers everything, badness overpowers everything. It's straight middle ground.
Exactly, yeah.
Straight middle ground. And that's one thing that I feel like religion kind of lost its sense in, because you said you were Catholic, correct?
Right, yeah.
In your Catholic sense, how do you feel like when you do something bad? Like, you know that you sinned, or was it meant to be a sin?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You were talking about like philosophy now, dude.
Because you know those aspects of like, oh, this man stole, but why did he steal? Because his family's poor.
Exactly. Like I feel like, yeah, that's, as a Catholic, that's still a sin. Like if, let's say I'm a poor man who like, I'm just trying to feed my family and I steal a loaf of bread. Like that's the beautiful thing about being a Catholic, is like I stole from my family and now they're fed. But if I really feel bad about it, if I really feel like I did something wrong, I can go to the church and be like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I stole. And like, the priest might be like, all right, say 10 Hail Marys. Or he might be like, you need to go to that bakery and
pay him back.
For
or
that,
give him some
bread, or, do something like that. And I mean, I think that's like, I don't know, when people hear about like Catholicism and stuff like that, they're always like you guys worship, pagan gods because you guys aren't praying to Jesus and stuff like that. But like, the way I see it is like, God is a busy dude. He is fucking doing shit all the time.
Dude, the fact that there is way too many religions to pinpoint God is, he's
got to be fucking pretty busy. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Doing way too much
So
shit.
if I can pray to, Saint Michael for protection instead of Jesus, I think I'll be okay. You know what I mean?
That's what's weird too. I never really understood the Catholic religion compared to the Christian religion.
Right. So like the Christian religion is,
because that's supposedly what I was growing up into. Was a Christian.
Was a Christian faith.
Yeah.
So like how I've like, and again, I'm not like a theology major or anything like that. I don't even know if that's the right term. But like the Christian religion is like, you have one God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, of all that is seen and unseen. It's Jesus, and God, the God gave his only begotten Son for the sins of man, as in John 3:16, and he was crucified on the cross. He was crucified, buried, and 3 days later he rose again to come and judge the living and the dead. So that's the Christian faith, is like there's one Jesus, one God, that's it.
One guy to praise.
One guy to praise. You pray to God, and that's it.
And that technically refers to Jesus.
Right, yeah. It's all the same. It's like in the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So in the Catholic faith, there are
saints, right?
Holy people. There are saints. So like there's a saint for everything. There's a saint for single mothers. There's a saint for
luck.
Yeah, there's a saint for luck. There's a saint for single parents. There's a saint for, like kidney problems. There's a saint for medical problems.
Anything. Like
St. George is the patron saint of the military. And like you can pray to those, like, you can go to a priest and say, I feel like I heard a story about, this lady who was like, she like divorced her husband or whatever, or her husband got arrested because he was like violent towards her. And the priest told her to pray to Saint Michael for protection, and like you can like, pray to certain saints for certain things. And like those are the people, those like, they're like, what makes somebody a saint is like you could be a good person your whole life, but a saint is somebody who is like, goes and be above and beyond that.
Didn't they have some kind of relationship or some kind of thing with Jesus or God?
No, not necessarily. Like John the Baptist was like apparently God's uncle or some crazy shit. I don't know, dude. It's weird. I mean, like I said, I haven't been in catechism for a long fucking time.
And that's crazy too, that in a Christian and a Catholic religion, there's more like structured rules inside of what you do.
Like what do you mean?
Like you've already said that, like the way that you've learned different saints and stuff for like praying and stuff. Like you'll even go to confess your sins just to make sure that like one of the saints or something hears the problems or the demand or whatever you need in that sense.
Yeah.
In a Christian faith, that kind of feels weird because it's just like, oh, you can just go to your room and go pray on the floor and he'll hear it.
And that's like, this is kind of where I might be splitting hairs. Is like, that's why I like the Catholic faith. It's because it like, if I was Christian, I can just do something bad and be like, I'm going to pray to God and make sure it's okay.
Be in jail, be right in the prison cell.
Yeah,
and be
dude.
like, I'm so sorry that I fucking killed that kid.
Be like, oh, I'm so sorry I stole this, God. And then like, technically, since I prayed to God and I said, I'm sorry, I'm okay. But like, if I'm Catholic, I got to go to church. I got to find a priest. I got to go to confession. I got to say like, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been this long since my last confession. And he'll say, what did you do? Like, I stole something. I, took the Lord's name in vain. And you just lay out all the shit you've done. And then the priest is like, listen, you're fucking, you need to atone for these sins. Like, and instead of just being like, I'm sorry, God, like now I have to go. And like, a lot of times, like, it's not just like, say Our Fathers or Hail Marys or light a candle. It's like, okay.
They'll explain. They'll be like, tell me more, son.
Right,
or like, let me hear more of this problem.
If I'm like, I took the Lord's name in vain, they're like, all right, well, you need to go, light a candle and you need to do this every day for this long. Or like, I remember when I was in high school, I was like mean to this kid or whatever. My mom made me go to confession and I confessed to it. And the priest is like, you need to go make amends with this person. And you need to love thy neighbor. And so I had to go to this kid the next day and I was like, listen, man, I'm sorry for what I did. Like, I know it was bad, my bad. And like,
so here's that great aspect. Do you feel like you needed religion for that though?
You know what, man? I think when people are like, I don't like religion.
Because there's some aspects where I know I did something bad and I know I should go atone for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't need religion for that.
Exactly. Well, maybe you think you didn't need religion, but think about this. If you didn't have religion in your life or you didn't know about religion at all, would you feel bad about it?
See, that's the thing, though, is like there's so much aspects of religion. What does and doesn't make you feel bad?
Dude, I think, religion's so ingrained in this country that it doesn't matter if you have ever stepped foot into a church. Stealing is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Murder is bad. Cheating on your wife is bad.
See, I don't think that's religion, though. I think that's just human nature.
But that's the thing, man. Religion's been around for so long that, look at life before religion. Look at, like, the barbarians. Look at, like, Vikings. Look at cavemen. Like, if we were cavemen and we kill this fucking mammoth and, like, we both take meat from this mammoth, and I take it to my family, you take it to your family, and I go over there and I take your meat from your family, bring it to my family. I have now stolen from you. And you come over and you fucking kill me because I stole from you. You're not going to feel bad about that at all because you don't have any frame of reference for that. Because there's no religion in your life. There's no anything in your life.
What if, this is where this is me different than you because I'm actually a really scientific person and I obviously love the fact that like maybe religion did help us in a sense of being a better person, but was it there since the beginning?
Right.
And that's one of those aspects is like, did we really have a cognitive motion and feeling to know what's good and bad?
Maybe.
Because that's what blows everybody away right now is because like there are those aspects of people who think like, there were the cavemen and there were the barbarians and they had no aspect of what's good and bad before then.
Yeah.
But then again, we think about religion now. Did we or do they? Because again, what if a Viking stole to feed his family and the other Viking just got mad because of that action and that causes, emotion and anger and like fear and all this stuff that like was present before religion.
Yeah.
That's what blows me away too is like the fact that with what we've been learning with science and stuff kind of like makes religion kind of more like, oh, it probably is just a story instead of an actual account of life.
Honestly, man, like if I backpedal right now, this is what I think. Like,
dude, we're here all night, dude. Backpedal all you want.
I'll be here till 4 a.m. I don't give a fuck. I don't got anything to do tomorrow. So like, I believe in God. I believe in God. I believe in there's a Jesus up there or God or whatever. I believe in the saints.
And you believe in like the way that they've made life and stuff like that.
I believe in that.
Yes.
But also me being a thinking human, I also can see that like religion's bullshit. I could also see that like we were probably fucking killing, stealing for thousands of years.
Yeah, because you've heard those stories. I mean, I don't want to bash the religion, but you've heard those stories where they're like, they burned down churches.
Oh yeah,
they burned down, like, you know,
the fucking crusades and shit like that,
like,
dude.
So
yeah.
much stuff. Like, the only reason why we don't know about, supposedly we don't know about the history of the world is because Christianity and Catholic religion try to stop it from happening.
Right.
And that's the shitty part about us growing up, is like, how do we take that into account of what we believe in?
So like, if you look at it like this, like, we were probably fucking heathens for thousands of years, right? We were, like, from cavemen to like,
maybe,
probably.
Look at how they look at. Have you heard of how they have evaluated when we actually were created? So I don't know if you know this, but they said that the pyramids weren't actually created by the Egyptians. They found the pyramids.
Oh, really?
Yes. You never heard of this?
No.
Okay,
I'm Catholic. We don't read.
So this is actually really mind-blowing, is because there are certain things that point to that the pyramids are older, that predate the Egyptians.
Oh, really? Okay, like carbon dating and stuff like that?
Yeah, and just weather erosion, the way that certain things are done on the, like, you know what the Sphinx is, right?
Yeah.
The animal that looks like a lioness head. There are certain weather patterns on there that literally look like it was rainfall. But supposedly, when the Egyptians were there creating this, it was all desert land.
Right.
It never rained at all.
Right.
So then geologists and also people that are trying to figure out these things are just like, well, how are they not taking these into account? That this is water damage, but yet there was no water damage during the Egyptian time.
Right.
It must be predated.
Exactly, yeah.
And that blows me away, because this brings up like scientific terms like Pangea and stuff like that.
Right.
You've heard of that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like one supercontinent.
And then they all broke off to like create different continents and stuff. Jamie, pull that up.
Get on that side. I used to have a Jamie, man, but
bitch, dude.
My roommate kind of flaked on me, so
fuck that, dude.
Do this shit on my own.
But like, if you look at us, 10,000 years ago, when we were just fucking savages, like eating fucking each other and like crazy shit, that probably was going on for so long, where someone was like, listen guys, we can't do this anymore. And one person was like, well, why the fuck not? And we're like, the guy's like, well, you're gonna make God angry. They're like, who's God? And you're like, oh, you don't know about God? And they're like, no. Like, well, God created the world. And they're like, well, how do you know that? And I'm like, well, because, and then like they go into this like long thing, and it's like, honestly, man, like, the Bible is probably just a set of stories to tell people, to tell us how to act during our life.
And honestly, yeah, it's probably just morals and like lessons.
Like, I think, honestly, man, if you aren't religious, but you just read the Bible and take out like the good parts of it, like, there's a lot of fucked up shit in the Bible. Like, we're not allowed to touch like a pig because it's dirty. We're not allowed to work on the Sabbath, or else we'll be put to death. We're not allowed to, like, sleep with dudes, or girls sleep with girls. Like, we're not allowed to, do all that stuff, which is like crazy shit, But I mean, if you do take the stuff like, don't covet thy neighbor's things,
You're
like,
right.
I think that's a good thing. Like, it's good not to be like angry at your neighbor because they're successful. It should make, I mean, it should make you want to work harder to be successful for your family, but you shouldn't just like fucking lament on like, oh, my neighbor's got a fucking Porsche. Why don't I have a Porsche? Don't.
I should go ruin his Porsche.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't fucking cheat on your spouse. Like, don't fuck somebody else if like you have a wife or a husband. Don't steal shit because you need to work hard for your own shit.
And I feel that's the beauty of religion, because right now, like you said, you're a Catholic.
Yeah.
But some Muslim or something probably does have the same belief as you do. But they just have that same, they just believe in a different God and stuff. They'll probably say the same things. They're just like, yeah, I know that I shouldn't kill somebody, or I know I shouldn't steal, because that's how my religion bases it off of. And just to think, you guys are like millions and millions of parts away. Like, the fact that you have these same morals and values.
Completely opposite spectrums. Like, we don't even believe in technically the same God, but we still both believe that, yeah, we shouldn't kill. Yeah, we shouldn't steal. We shouldn't cheat on our spouse, and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, man. I just think that's kind of like a cool thing about religion is like, you know what, dude? Even if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in, all this stuff. If you just look at the Bible and you're like, dude, yeah, I probably shouldn't steal shit. I do. And if you just like live by the Bible, like you're probably going to be a pretty good person.
And that's what's funny now too, is like there's people that are like so atheists, don't believe in the Bible, but yet still follow morals and values of the Bible.
In the Bible, yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't steal. Oh, I don't do this. Oh, I don't do this. Well, you know what, dude? That came from a Bible. A lot of people do say that from the Bible.
Like, I'm a good person. I look out for my community and my neighbors. Like, dude, that's loving thy neighbor, dude. That's like helping. Like, if you're just a fucking crazy person and it's like, I'm gonna go wild, dude, just like read the Bible. Maybe just like there's some good shit in there, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. I don't know, man. You believe in guns? What's going on?
I'm all about guns, dude.
Guns are tight.
I wish I had a gun. I don't have a gun.
Go buy a gun, you fucking communist.
Especially where I'm at, right? In fucking New Mexico.
You should 100% have a gun here, dude.
I have 2 guns.
Guns are tight, dude. I love guns.
All right, we're going to go and jump to one of our segments. This is actually called Today in History.
I'm great at history.
So today is December 27th, and these are all the things that have happened in history today.
Okay, here we go. Let's look at this shit.
What's up? In 1512, the law of Burgos gives New World native legal protection against abuse and authorized Negro slavery.
Cool.
Well, in 1512, that went on the same time this podcast did.
That's fucking wild. Okay, what else we got?
1831. Look at that shit. Charles Darwin on board departs from the Plymouth, visits the Galapagos Island, where Darwin will form his first theories on evolution.
Wow.
The beginning steps of evolution happen on this same day, dude.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
Right? Look at this. The Union General William Army begins moving slowly towards, I don't know what that is. What is that?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee from Nashville.
So that's probably like some Civil War shit.
Yeah, so dude, I'm a huge American history fan.
Okay, so let us know. Do you know a little bit about this?
A little bit about this?
Anything? What went on in 1862? Do you know?
So 1862 was kind of was like one of the bigger upkicks in the Civil War.
Okay.
So the Civil War was from 1861 to 1865. And it started with the first Battle of Manassas, or the Battle of Bull Run, and ended with the Treaty at the Appomattox Courthouse.
Okay.
And so, it's actually kind of crazy. Gettysburg was in 1863, was July 1st through July 3rd of 1863.
Wow.
So, every year on 4th of July, I just think, wow, Gettysburg was right around this time in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and it was wild.
And that's crazy to think about, those little things in history where you're just like, dude, everyone's celebrating for a weirder reason.
Oh, dude, I follow I really like facts. Like there's this Uber facts. I don't know if you follow them on Instagram, but every day they just come up with a different fact. And on December 24th during the Revolutionary War, I can't remember what year it is exactly. On December 24th. So, all right, I'm going to give you a little history lesson real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Do you like history?
I love it, dude.
Okay, so...
I mean, we just talked about religion a whole lot.
Exactly. So, back in the day, during a war, it was an unspoken agreement that either side would not fight on Christmas.
Unspoken.
It was unspoken. There was no formal treaty saying that you're not allowed to fight on Christmas, but it was an unspoken agreement that both sides would have a ceasefire on Christmas.
Interesting.
So all the way up until World War One, there was ceasefires on Christmas. Even up through even up through the Civil War. We were we're not allowed to fight on Christmas.
Yeah.
But George Washington knew this, and when George Washington crossed the Delaware, he crossed it on December 24th, 1770 something. I don't know. So the British were getting their ass kicked because the British were used to fighting what's called formal wars, where troops line up in an open field and they shoot at each other, and then the next group comes up and they shoot at each other. So the American Revolution was one of the first wars that the British fought that was guerrilla style warfare, where we had renegades and rebels and stuff like that, hiding in trees, shooting people, the shot heard around the world, the Battle of Lexington and Concord, the first battle of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Was the whole while the British were going back, the Americans, the rebels were in the trees shooting these motherfuckers, guerrilla warfare shit. So the British hired the Hessian army, which were Germans, technically, but Germany wasn't
a thing still.
Wasn't a thing yet. So they were like Hessians. The Hessians were an elite military group from Germany, modern day Germany, that were like crazy good at guerrilla warfare.
Oh, so they knew tactical shit.
They knew some tactical shit. And the Hessians were fucking us up.
Nice.
And General George Washington was like, we're going to fucking kill these dudes. So on December 24th, Christmas Eve, he took a small group of people across the Delaware. And the next morning on Christmas Day, he went in there and just fucking massacred these motherfuckers on Christmas Day.
Holy shit.
It was pretty wild. Like,
and that's one of those moments where it's just
it was one of the big turning points in the war. Another big turning point was Valley Forge. Valley Forge is in New Jersey in the wintertime. And the American troops, a lot of them were dying of smallpox.
Oh, shit.
Fucked up from like smallpox. A lot of dudes didn't have shoes. Just fucked up shit. When George Washington was a child, his father was the ambassador to the crown, and he was in like the Dominican Republic or something like that, and he got smallpox as a child. George Washington did.
Okay.
And they did an inoculation technique where they would cut open a sore, a smallpox sore, and like cut you, and then they'd rub like the pus inside it. And it helps your body. It's like getting a flu shot nowadays.
Okay.
It's like it helps your body build up a natural immunities to the smallpox virus. So during Valley Forge, what they would do is they would take a well soldier, and they would cut a spore of an unwell soldier, take the pus out of there, rub it in the well soldier's wound, and the well soldier would get sick, but it would get sick slowly enough to where his immune system can fight off and his body can build up immunities.
So after that, the next sickness is literally nothing.
Yeah. So like his body have these like natural immunities built up to the smallpox virus. So George Washington did that at Valley Forge, and he saved a lot of people by doing that. And he saved the Continental Army because like a lot of them didn't get smallpox, and then a lot of them were well enough to fight that coming like
next time.
Yeah. Also, like wars weren't really fought during like the winter time because it was just too cold to like.
Yeah, fuck that.
They'd be like, all right, we're gonna take some time off. We're gonna go to
strategize.
We're gonna go to our forts for a few months, and then in the spring we're gonna come back and we're gonna fuck each other up. Like it was wild.
That's crazy.
What else have we got over here?
That's so sick though. Like little historian facts over here. What made you into his history? Just the military stuff, or
no, man? I've been a big fan of history like my whole life, man. Like, so when I was little, when I was like in third grade, the first thing that really got me into history was Lewis and Clark.
Oh shit!
My like third grade teacher was super into Lewis and Clark.
Just like, you gotta let you know about that Louisiana Purchase.
I know, dude. First of all, Louisiana Purchase was borderline illegal.
Here we go.
No, dude, pretty much. So Thomas Jefferson in 1800, the French were like, dude, we got a lot of shit we need to unload. Do you guys want to buy this? And Thomas Jefferson's like, listen, we'll buy it, because he wanted to find out if there was a water passage from the Pacific to the Mississippi River, or the Pacific to the Atlantic. Pretty much he thought, his way of thinking was there was a water route from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, like across America.
Okay, and that's probably one of the spots.
And so they were like, we're going to sell you Louisiana, the Louisiana Purchase. And dude, he bought it for like, I think 10 cents an acre or something crazy, or like less than that. Like it was so cheap, it was ridiculous. And Thomas Jefferson didn't talk to Congress. He didn't talk to the Senate. He didn't talk to anybody. He just fucking bought it. Like, imagine if you were married and your wife just came home and said, hey, I bought a Bentley. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't consult me at all. He bought the Louisiana Purchase, and I can't remember if he already knew one of them. He already knew either Lewis or Clark. So Meriwether Lewis and William Clark knew each other from the army, I'm pretty sure. And so let's say he knew Lewis. So he's like, well, I just bought all this fucking land. I need somebody to go explore it. So he went to Meriwether Lewis and was like, hey, I need you to go explore this. And he's like, all right, cool. I know a dude named William Clark. So him and William Clark set off on this like 3-year journey from 1800 or 1801 to 1803. They just went from like Louisiana, like from pretty much like America now all the way to Oregon and back. And it took them 3 fucking years to do this. And during those 3 years, only one person died.
Holy shit.
And he died of appendicitis.
Oh shit.
Dude, that's it. Like they encounter like Native Americans, fucking grizzly bears, fucking like all this shit, and only one person fucking died.
Elements of Earth.
Oh,
and shit
dude,
like,
they were like in the wintertime in like Montana when it was like fucked up cold. Like, dude, these dudes had to eat their horses and dogs and shit.
God.
And they made it all the way. And dude, if it wasn't for like Sacagawea or whatever the fuck her name is, they would have probably died. But dude, Sacagawea was 16 years old whenever she went with Lewis and Clark, with a baby on her back from a French fur trapper.
Holy shit.
Bro, fucking wild.
History, dude. That shit blows you away once you start getting into the grips.
Dude, if you think about it, like, dude, there's so many crazy things in history. Like, off the top of my head is like, dude, Sacagawea was like 16 years old when she was leading Lewis and Clark. Right. Napoleon was like 5'7", which was average height back then for a Frenchman. But it was a piece of British war propaganda that was like saying Napoleon's small. And that's where the Napoleonic complex comes from. What else, dude? Like,
there's even before then. Like, I remember a story of fucking Solon. He's a Greek mythology.
Oh, cool.
And he just he actually traveled to Egypt.
Oh, sick.
And saw everything. He's like, hey guys, what's up? I didn't know you guys had all this shit here. And Egyptologists and Egypt people there told him, they're like, hey bro, what's your life story? And he's like, hey, yeah, well, we have this creation story. This is how life was created and stuff like that. And they're like, dude, that's like the first version.
Yeah.
It happened again. Like, that's the thing that blows me away, is that like there might have been more than one creation story. That the creation myth story that we have of like Adam and Eve and stuff.
Oh, dude.
Probably happened, but there was another one before then. That we like, you know, the whole aspect of like getting hit by meteors and some kind of like space debris or something like that kind of gets rid of the human civilization. I think that happened more than one time.
Well, dude, there's old ancient like thoughts that the world is on the back of a tortoise's back.
Yeah, dude,
the tortoise crawled out of the sea with the earth on his back, and that's how we got, you know, the earth.
Yeah.
And like, dude, there's just so much crazy shit out there. It's wild. What else we got?
President of the Miners Union is shot in the back and dragged through the streets of Chicago in 1913.
Dude, I'm in a union, and that's some other cool history too. Like unions and shit, it's fucking wild, dude.
I can see that, dude. That can make sense.
Oh, iron steelworkers strike for an 8-hour day, and dude, so.
Them union guys.
Dude, here we go, man. I'm going to tell you this right now. So, like, the reason we have a 8-hour workday, a 40-hour work week, and a 2-day weekend is because of unions.
Okay.
So before unions, before 1915, it was very common that you worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Damn.
Well, you worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and then on Sunday you worked a 10-hour day. So, like, you would go from work from 6 to 6 or 5 to 5 or whatever at, like, a mill or a mine or a factory or some shit. And
farming, anything.
Farming still is like a 12-hour day today. It's fucking wild. Like, I have friends who are farmers and shit. But, like, and then on Sunday, you were allowed 2 hours in the morning for church. You were allowed to go to church for an hour, come home, eat breakfast, change in your work clothes, and then you would go to work. And it's just like, and so this was happening for years and years and years and years. And then like there's like the Triangle Shirt Factory fire.
Oh shit.
So the Triangle Shirt Factory was a textile company in Lowell, Massachusetts, I'm pretty sure. And it was like a textile company that was making shirts, and they had a elevator, but they weren't allowed to use. And pretty much this whole like factory was just like a big hunk of shit. It was like there was like children working there. There was like, you know, the work conditions were pretty terrible. You're working like 12-hour days, you know, and a fire broke out one day and it killed like over 100 people, I'm pretty sure, in this one factory. And like that was like kind of the bigger thing, like that kicked off like the, you know, shit like that. And then, like, you know, people like started going on strike. Like, dude, we're dying pretty much.
Yeah, we're working our asses off, and look at our health. And
yeah, there's 10-year-olds getting black lung in, you know, West Virginia fucking coal mines, and you know what the fuck? What we're not, you know, what the fuck? So they started trying to unionize, like coming together and saying like, all right, we're not gonna let these motherfuckers do this to us anymore.
Yeah.
And they realized that like they're stronger together, you know, and they started, you know, striking and doing like shit like this for better work conditions. And then they figured out that like, so the reason we have an 8-hour work day is because they figured out that you can have 8 hours for work, 8 hours for leisure, and 8 hours for sleep.
Oh, okay.
And that's why
broke it apart.
Yeah, so that's why we have an 8-hour work day. Because they were like, well, 12 hours is too much. What about 10 hours? They're like, no, 10 hours isn't good enough too. They're like, well, how can we break a day into 3 separate equal parts? And they're like, well, we have an 8-hour work day. And then we can go home, spend 8 hours with our family, and get an 8-hour night's rest, and then come back the next day ready to work.
And still be efficient.
Yeah, and that gives you 40 hours a week. You give us 2 days off at the end of the week. And that's just kind of like what happens, and that's how we should work, you know.
Yeah.
And so like, and then from there you got like healthcare and like, you know, health insurance and stuff like that. But like
benefits and stuff.
Yeah, dude. But if it wasn't for unions, man, it'd be the work week and your work schedule would be very different. I think, in my opinion,
that makes sense.
Pretty wild, dude. What else we got?
What's up? In 1932, Radio City Music Hall opens. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, did you ever see John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous?
I haven't.
Oh, dude, it's his most recent special. It's at Radio City Music Hall.
Is it?
It's fucking gigantic. Like, I didn't know how big it was in there, but isn't it wild? Like, there's dudes that, like, technically we do the same thing as John Mulaney, but technically not at all.
Okay.
Like, we tell jokes to people, but like, you tell jokes to people in bars, and so do I. But like, I'll tell people the jokes in like comedy clubs, and then like John Mulaney tells jokes to people in fucking Radio City Music Hall,
in stadiums.
In stadiums, Joe Rogan and fucking Dave Chappelle just broke the stadium record in like, I think it was maybe Lake Tahoe or something like that. But it was him, like 25,000 people in this fucking stadium. Like him and Dave Chappelle did.
And it's hard to imagine that because like I go to a concert and I'm a little discouraged because of how far and how back I am. I can imagine a comedy show.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'll go to a concert and I'm like, oh, dude, I can't wait to hear this song, and you're like,
and you're
like, oh, I guess I could hear this in my car, kind of, but like it's, I don't know, man, it's different, you know, it's pretty wild.
I guess it's the experience too, right?
Yeah,
the fact that you're there and get to see them interact and stuff.
Yeah.
In 1933, Joseph Stalin calls tension with Japan in grave danger. That's war for you, bro.
Fucking Stalin, dude.
War, dude.
Big piece of shit.
Oh, dude, a serious earthquake in 1939 in Turkey. 11,000 lives.
Jesus.
In the 1941, Japanese bombers attack Manila, despite the claims as an open city.
Dude, the Japanese were wild, too, during World War II. Those motherfuckers.
I have a joke about that, too, where I'm just like, you know what's the most unpatriotic thing we do now? Is watch Pearl Harbor on a Sony DVD player.
Fuck, that's a good joke.
America, bitch.
That's a good joke, dude. Dude, Pearl Harbor's wild, too,
right?
Man. Dude, fucking Pearl Harbor's crazy.
General George S. Patton's Third Army spearheaded by the 4th Armored Division reveals the surrounding city of Bastogne in Belgium.
I guess I think they're talking about the Battle of the Bulge there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Band of Brothers?
I haven't.
You never seen Band of Brothers?
I'm not a big war guy.
Never seen, dude. I fucking love war movies. It's like a mini series like on HBO, like Band of Brothers.
I have to check it out then.
So fucking good. It like goes from like Normandy to like, you know, D-Day on like, I think D-Day was June 6, 1944. Like when we took the beaches in France and we started marching towards Berlin. It was kind of like the decline of Germany. It was like when America and the Allies got like a big foothold in, you know, in there. Like before then we were fighting campaigns in like Italy and like Africa, and in 44 whenever we took D-Day, D-Day, it was like the start of the decline of like Nazi Germany, because we started actually pushing into Europe and really getting into the shit there. And like the Battle of the Bulge was like a big one, because it was like right before we went into Germany, and it was like the Germans were trying to hold us, and it was like one of the last real pushes of that. And it was talking about, you know, Patton and his, you know, armory division was like starting to spearhead the Battle of the Bulge into, like, you know, into Belgium and Bastogne and stuff like that. It's, if you haven't seen it, dude, you should really watch fucking Band of Brothers. It's fucking great.
Cool.
It'll make you fucking cry and come. It's wild.
It makes you really patriotic.
Oh, dude, it gives me a patriotic boner. Here we go. What else we got?
What's it called? The International Monetary Fraud Fund and the Banks of Reconstructions and Development are created.
No, it's fucking boring. Next one.
The new Italian Constitution in Rome.
Nope. Boring. Next one.
The United States and Spain resume relationships for the first time since the Spanish Civil War in 1930s. So in the 1950s, they really started to be like, "Hey, bro, we're cool, right?"
It's like, oh, I guess
we're cool,
okay,
right?
I guess, dude. Well, I don't know much about the Spanish Civil War, Spanish American War, but I'm pretty sure the Spanish sunk the USS Maine, and that's what kind of like spearheaded the Spanish American War. Did I just fucking go off? What is this? Ooh, I got a Bumble message.
Dang!
I got a message on Bumble,
dude. He's trying to get laid on the pod. Just tell him you're on live right now.
Tell him I'm live right now. I don't want them to fucking.
I'm live right now. I might get another subscriber. Who knows?
Jesus, nah, dude. She's definitely not about it. Oh.
Tallahassee in 1956 on buses in Tallahassee. Segregation.
Oh, fucking Tallahassee just sounds like a racist name. You know what I mean?
It does, dude.
Fucking sons of bitches. What else we got?
68, the United States agrees to sell F-4 Phantom jets to Israel.
Uh-oh.
Does that sound like a good idea?
Dude, I don't know, man. That's fucking wild. That's like when you used to hook up with that chick in high school. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm going to throw her a little bit of dick and see what happens.
I'm going to hit her up again.
And then in college, she just becomes a super fucking crazy feminist, and you just start sweating because, like, this bitch is going to Me Too me, bro.
She's just too intense.
Dude, she's way too intense. What is this? Oh, President Reagan takes all responsibility for lack of security in Beirut that allowed terrorists to suicide bomb and killed 241 Marines. Dude, that's pretty wild. Fucking Beirut, dude.
Do you know anything about that?
I just know that, like, we were stationed there. There's a Marine base there, and like it was one of those bases where like you didn't really think anything was really going to happen, and then just one day, like, you know, that kind of security got kind of lax, and then a truck, I think, ran through the barricade and then got next to a barracks and then just detonated, and then 241 Marines died.
Holy shit!
It's fucked up, bro.
4 Polish officers are tried for the slaying of Reverend Drezzy. I'm not gonna pronounce that last name.
That's a modern day SoundCloud rapper, bro. If I don't see Drezzy X as a SoundCloud rapper the next year, I'm gonna be fucking pissed, bro.
What are they doing out there?
You sons of bitches. Palestine guerrillas kill 18 people at airport in Rome and Vienna. Sad, dude. Fucking Jesus. Is there any fun, uplifting ones?
This is what happens in this day, dude. This is what happens.
Taliban forces retake strategic Bagram airfield during Afghan civil war. Damn, dude. I know dudes that have been to Bagram Air Base. It's fucking wild.
Chinese receive permanent
normal trade relations.
Well, good thing that... See, okay, so at this time, everything's cool, but now we're back to fucked up trading with fucking China.
Fucking China, dude.
Radiation reaches Earth from the brightest extrasolar event
ever witnessed, an explosion of Magnar SGR 1806-20.
That's too smart for me, bro.
I ain't about that shit, bro. I'm over that.
Way too smart.
Fuck all that noise, bro.
Declared the winner of Kenya's presidential election. Rioting began in 2007. Jesus, political crisis.
Jesus Christ.
And then again in 2007, former Pakistan prime minister assassinated.
Do you have any fun things? Can we talk about some fun shit on
That's it, dude. That's all that happened.
Go down.
That's all that happened in this history.
Go down. Right, hold on. If you can guess 18 out of 20 on this quiz. Your IQ is 140. Let's.
No, we're not doing that.
Let's do that.
No,
let's click that.
I'm not trying to get spam mail.
Let's get you a fucking virus real quick,
Why
bro.
is this a thing?
Dude, did you it's actually kind of wild, dude. Dude, JFK was kind of a bad motherfucker during World War II.
Why?
So
JFK stop shit going on. He's trying to stop shit going on.
He was kind of a war hero, dude.
Really?
Yeah. So
tell us more.
John F. Kennedy was a pilot. Maybe, I think so. I think he was a pilot during World War II, or he was a boat captain or something like that. I think he was in charge of a boat. He was in the Navy. He was a lieutenant or something like that. And they sunk his boat, and his one of the dudes on his boat was fucked up. I think he had 2 broken arms, and Kennedy saved him.
Holy shit.
Dragged him to this island, got on this island, and then I think Kennedy swam back out to go find rescue or something like that. But he fucked up his back in the process, and he'd have back issues for the rest of his fucking life.
Ever since then.
And he also threw his back out when he was getting all that pussy during his fucking
pussy.
That fucking puss, boy. You know what I mean?
That's my president, boy.
Kennedy's be fucking out here,
He's
boy.
my president.
Kennedy's be fucking, boy. That's fun, dude. That's a good time. What got you into comedy, man?
To be honest, the thing that got me into comedy is just making people laugh.
Okay.
I was actually a musician beforehand.
What kind of music did you play? A little bit of punk?
I play a lot of heavy metal.
Oh, you look like a heavy metal guy, dude.
But I'm actually shred guitarist. So like Joe Satriani.
Oh god,
Steve
dude.
Vai,
Oh god,
shit
dude.
Like that. I'm into that shit.
I don't know either of those guys, but fuck yeah, no.
Really? Dragon Force, maybe?
You know who Kanye Twitty is? You ever heard of Kanye Twitty?
Dude, it's all about that Western slide.
Dude, fucking dude. You ever heard of fucking Bob Wills, dude?
I've heard, but never.
Dude, Bob, he's a king of country music, dog.
I'm all about that Chet Atkins.
King of Texas swing, baby.
I'm all about that Brad Paisley. Dude, that guy's a guitar player.
Fuck that, dude.
That guy's a fucking genius at that guitar playing.
Fuck
dude.
Brad Paisley and his comedy special. Fuck that, dude.
Well, he shouldn't have a comedy special.
He shouldn't have anything. He should be in poverty.
No, that guitar he's a genius at guitar, dude. He does some shit that just blows me away.
Jesus, I'm not about it.
Anyways, we got one more segment before we head off. Dude, we've actually been here for an hour and 45 minutes.
Jesus Christ, dude.
So we got one more segment for you.
What do you got?
This is called Rapid Fire.
All right, rapid fire it at me.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a word.
Okay.
And I want you to say the first thing that comes to your head, okay?
Okay, before we start this, I saw some fucking Kool-Aid jammers in there. Could I have one?
Take it.
I'm getting those Kool-Aid jammers.
Take it, bro. I have a list of 25 words.
Why do you do? Okay.
Because there's a list of 25 words. This is more of a psychology kind of thing.
Okay, let's do this.
So again, I'm going to tell you the word, and you say the first thing that pops in your head, okay?
Okay, I'm excited. Hold on. I can never open these goddamn things. I gotta
do the whistle. He's trying to do the whistle.
Does your audience like ASMR or whatever that is? I don't like that. That sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm eating some pussy up here, bro.
You guys like that shit, don't
you? Like that, you little bitch, huh? You like that? Okay, go ahead. I'm ready for it.
Are you ready for this?
No, I'm not ready for it.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Okay, hold on.
Let's do this.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
25 words. Are you ready?
Yes.
Pizza.
Slice.
Island.
Captain.
Music.
Band.
Black.
White.
Trippy.
Drugs.
Fast.
Slow.
Animal.
House.
Space.
Astronaut.
Maze.
Runner.
Army.
Navy.
Drugs.
Good.
Air.
Guitar.
Pendulum.
Teller.
Native American.
Navajo.
Scar.
Lit.
School.
Bus.
Magic.
Castle.
Computer.
Whiz.
Superhero.
Movie.
Comedy.
Special.
Bleach.
Blonde.
Fame.
Muss.
Ham water.
Sagittarius.
MuseMe.
TV.
That's it.
How did I do? Did I do all right?
I don't know. We'll have to find out when we get the next person to do their list.
What the fuck?
That's all it is just a comparison to the next person.
How did I compare to the last person?
You have to watch it to find out.
What the fuck, dude? No, tell me now. What the fuck, dude?
Thank you guys for watching. This was MuseMe TV. Give it up. Where can they find you?
Fucking Jesus. Well, my address is.
Tell them where they can find you. Give them some handles so they can look you up.
The only thing I'm really on, man, is Instagram. Honestly, it's something I really fuck with. Don't find me on Facebook, you fucking weirdos.
Right? Why the fuck did I message him on Facebook?
I know, dude.
He was like, fucking shit.
You can find me at fucking FUCKIN _Maverick on Instagram.
Okay.
So fucking _Maverick.
You got any shows coming up?
I have 2 shows coming up in the next couple days. Tomorrow I'll be at Tricklock Theater with Zach Abeda. You gonna be there?
I'll drop by.
You want to come by? Yeah,
I'll
I'll be there with Zach Abeda. Me and him also do a show at Canteen Brew House on the one on Aztec if you're from Albuquerque. So Canteen Brew House on Aztec. Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 28th at 8:30 is when we start. Dude, we have a killer lineup. It's me, Zach Abeda, Buck D, our friend Reese Munoz from Arizona. And then Kurt Fletcher from Denver. He's a fucking killer, bro. So honestly, man, I really wish we talked about comedy a little bit more, but we just talked about all the shit we're not supposed to talk about.
That means that you have to come back. That's all that means. You have to come back on this podcast.
All right, dude.
Whenever you're back in here, dude, whenever you're back in the state, you let me know and we'll get you back on.
I will, man. I loved it. I had so much fun. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, man. I appreciate being here. Give me that hand.
That's
you little son of a gun.
You guys take it easy. We'll have a podcast coming up here soon on Saturday, and also I have something on Sunday. So make sure to stay subscribed, follow, and turn on those notifications for all those fucking beautiful noises that come on.
I know, right? Later, guys.